Oh, sorry about that. How are you doing today?
Oh, good.
I'm good. Awesome, awesome. It's not too late, right? It's not too late to speak to you.
Oh, no, it's not late here. I think it's gonna be 7.
7. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so let me ask you. My partner tells me that you were asking, that you have a lot, and that you're looking to sell it. If you don't mind me asking, why you consider selling the property?
I'm just selling it because I told you that we have some offers before for the money that we want, but at that time we're not really interested in selling. But now it's, we have to, the land that we have is not in the town that we live. So we have to, every year we have to go clean it at least twice a year. And, back and forth, and that's why we put it for sale. And for my husband, because it's already, it was a big house right there, 2-story house. So
the house, and it got demolished?
We did it ourselves. We had to pay to demolish the house. Because when we buy it, we're supposed to fix it. But my husband is working, and we're supposed to fix it. So by the time that we want to fix it, like probably 5 years later, they don't want to give us the permission to fix it.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, what was your property worth with the building? I mean, like, what was the house worth?
At that time?
Yes.
I
Not
don't know.
the land, the property itself.
The property itself? I don't know. We pay $28,000 at that time, and we $10,000 to put it down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we have to.
So that's why y'all are asking double what y'all pay, so that way y'all can.
Yes, because
Okay.
No,
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, yeah. So. Go ahead.
And we paying taxes for, I don't know, more than 10 years already.
Okay.
And
Is there any taxes owed on it currently?
Oh, no. Everything is correct.
Utilities are still on there, or do we have to set up new utilities?
No, everything is, everything is underneath. We have like but there was the what? And everything right there. So.
Okay. Also, well, typically, if we were to buy this land, we would definitely do a new build. So typically, the rule of thumb for new builds is you got to be at 10% for the land of what the property you're going to build on their worth. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense, But from what my business partner told me, that he made you a very, very fair offer on the property. And so, if you don't mind me asking, I believe he told you between 25 and 35. That's not a price range you're willing to work with?
He told me like 35, and I told it because before we have an offer for 50,000, but like I said, at that time we don't really, want to sell it. But right now we get to the point that we want to get rid of them.
Yes.
And
well, I do always. Go ahead. No, go ahead. What'd you tell your husband?
I told 45,000. He said, well, no, they give us to us cash, because the way that he asked me first, he wants to give me like 5,000 down, and then like in payment for 30 years. My husband said 20 years.
Yes. No, and I understand. Well, that's the 50,000. For something like that, I would honestly want to cash out on that, just because we're going to put a house on there. We don't want to be, worrying about payments on the land on the land itself. So if we did do this, I wouldn't be interested in owner finance. This would have to be a cash deal. But factoring in what's kind of going on, a lot of buyers are not really looking to pay what they used to pay, just because of what's going on over there in Washington with the riots and stuff like that. So you got a lot of investors and buyers actually moving to Texas. So, but we're still buying. We still, it's not really affecting us. There's somebody that always needs a house. However, we can't pay due to the COVID situation. We can't pay what people would initially be asking if the riots and the COVID thing, what was going on. So for that. We can be at 50K, but we are very interested. 30, is 30, 35 something that y'all wouldn't consider? Is something y'all would consider if we were to close in 30 days and take care of the closing costs?
Not 30.
Well, I would also, take this into consideration. If you did list, you're going to have to pay realtors fees. You're going to have to pay, for the listing, and you're going to constantly pay for those taxes as long as that doesn't sell. Because land, when realtors are doing their comparisons on land, on what the property is worth, what they have to do is they have to go back a year or two versus your single family. Because if you do single family, you can go back 2-3 months because houses sell. However, land is different. So, I'm always trying to be upfront with the sellers and tell them, look, it's more likely to sell faster if you were at the right price for an investor, because an investor needs house on it. So that's something they have to take into account. The good thing with yours, I do want to add, is that you do have utility, so that's why we want it, and I believe 30 is actually over what we would pay, but we are needing a lot to build another property, because we're already about to be done with one, so I want to keep my crews busy. So that's why I'm wanting to pay a little more. But the fact is that when you list with the broker, it's probably going to sit there for like months. And so then it's going to be harder and hurt you more, your pockets, on your profit, because you're having to pay the taxes on it. And we don't know how long that's going to sit there. Some people are fine with that. And hey, we encourage you to go that route if that's where you feel best, if you're not getting it with an investor. But typically, something for this type of property at that range, that's honestly retail, and we can't buy properties at retail. However, we still want to make you a really good offer. So we would, to be closer to the 30K range, we were able to take care of the closing costs, which will save you $4,000 or $5,000 on the closing costs, because typically sellers have to pay that. But I'm always willing to do that in exchange for the numbers to work for both of us versus just working for you. And we can close in 30 days, all cash, no financing. We hand you a check, and that's that.
Okay, my husband is working outside. That's why I went inside the house because he's making so much noise. He's putting the work in his place.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So if you like me and your husband, and you as well, can always do a 3-way call just to kind of clarify some stuff about what we're willing to offer, and how we would like to just kind of take this off of your hand. But owner finance wouldn't work for us on this deal, to be honest with you. I would prefer do owner finance on residential single families versus lots. I would rather just cash out and be done with it. Have you had anybody else interested on the property?
Oh yeah, we have a lot of people. Awesome, okay. We have some of them. They ask for 40. It's a guy that he has already like a shop or like tires and all that.
Yeah, definitely.
But he also wanna do like the payments too.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Like payments. that's why people are trying to shoot for payments, just because it's kind of over asking what it should go for investors. Because unless that area calls for like new builds, it's really going to be difficult selling it for a high price. I'm not discouraging or anything. That's what the route you want to go. Hey, it's your property. You can do what you want. But we buy several lots a month, and we are always trying to overpay a little bit more than what people are willing to pay for the property, so that way we can, we get the deals because we're competitive.
And then my daughter wants me to build up first, and then no, I don't want to invest more money in that property anymore.
Yeah, definitely. And let me ask you, do you currently live in the same city as the one?
No, it's the same city, but we live in Quincy. It's like 45 minutes from Quincy.
Yeah, I can see how that.
Yeah, that area is a good area because they have a swimming pool. It's an area for close to to the park. It's right there in the center of Moses Lake. Right now,
Okay.
it's not a commercial property yet, but eventually it's gonna be because it's right there in the center.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, yeah, well, definitely, like I said, if you'd like to speak with your husband and, follow us up with us, whether you pass with us or not, hey, no harm, no foul, we wish you the best. We appreciate the opportunity, and we're always here willing to compromise, but 30 is closer to 30 is where we need to be. I believe my partner already,
30,
mentioned 35.
Well, you can keep.
Well, I would honestly, I don't want to give you an exact number. I would just need to be between 30 and 35. Once we have a contract, I buy as is, but and it's just, I want to set proper expectations. I don't want to overpromise a specific number, and I can't perform on it. But we are in the low 30s, so maybe we're willing to be at 35 max. Hey, I'm fine with it, and we'll pay the closing costs. We will agree on that.
My husband, the maximum is 35.
35, and then closing costs, and we'll close in 30 days or less.
Okay, let me tell
Okay.
you. I'll talk to him.
Awesome.
Okay.
Great. Well, I appreciate you, Gloria. Thank you for the opportunity.
It's Sylvia.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
Sylvia. You have a good evening.
Yeah, you too, thank you. Dice que nos podía dar 35,000 y en 30 días está cerrado el todo. Cierra todo y de 35,000 nos paga y ellos pagan los costos y todo. Ajá.